Chapter 598. Your life? Kishir's eyes seemed to shift slightly. Was it Yudhir's imagination? After blinking once, those red irises met Yudhir's gaze again, looking no different than usual. Were there many moments when your life was in danger? Or is it the time I'm thinking of? It was clear what Kishir meant by that time. It had to be the last day of Yudhir's life that he had seen in his dream. Although framed as a question, Kishir seemed fairly certain about what the answer would be. Yudhir responded with a face as impassive as possible. It's the time you're thinking of. There haven't been many occasions when someone in another country would try to save my life. Not many, you say? Kishir repeated Yudhir's last words as if muttering to himself. His expression remained unchanged, but something about the eyes shadowed by golden lashes seemed to darken. Yudhir quickly added another comment. To clarify, aside from that one time, I have never received such an offer. I hope you don't misunderstand that this happens often. I see. Kishir finally gave a small smile. It's clear that Prince Ajane possesses exceptional judgment in recognizing talent. With that in mind, it doesn't seem strange for you to want to repay the debt. I completely understand. However, even after his words were done, Kishir's hands holding the magic artifact and relic remained stretched out, unmoving. Is there anything else you're curious about? It's not that I'm curious, but no, never mind. Uncharacteristically for a man who could skillfully find out anything, Kishir hesitated and backed off. It makes me uneasy when you say that. Please, just say what's on your mind. Anything, you say? Truly? Yes. ... No reply came. Instead, Kishir's eyes squinted slightly in the silence. As Yudhir wondered if he had said something wrong, Kishir reached out and gently touched his cheek. Saying anything is fine seems to be too risky. You'd best avoid being so careless. Why is it careless to say I can answer any question you have? That's what I mean, Kishir responded with a faint, bitter smile. If I take your words to mean anything, who knows what I might end up doing? That's a strange thing to say. Of all things, not knowing one's limits hardly suited Kishir. Wondering if he was truly to divert the conversation because he didn't want to talk, Yudhir spoke again. Let's change the topic then. I would like to know what you're thinking. Is it alright to ask that? At that, Kishir blinked a couple of times before bursting into laughter. His laughter didn't die down for quite some time in front of Yudhir, who frowned slightly. I doubt there is anyone better than you, my assistant, at extracting confessions. Why do you laugh as you say that? It's a surrender, I tell you. Raising both hands, Kishir signaled his surrender, and the smile around his eyes deepened. My thoughts are simple. Firstly, I was thinking how nice it would be if you were sitting beside me instead of across from me. Without another word, Yudhir immediately rose and moved to sit next to Kishir. Yes, and what else were you thinking? The smile finally vanished from the gaze that felt over closer, even deeper. With a small sigh, the man who had lost his playful demeanor lowered his eyes. I thought I wanted to hold you. Was that all he intended to say, or was there another question lurking? It was uncertain, but for some reason, it felt like even if he asked further, he wouldn't reveal more. Staring at Kishir's idle hands, Yudhir remained silent for a moment. Despite saying he wanted to hold him, Kishir made no move to do so. Finally, Yudhir gently raised his hand. As soon as his black-gloved fingers touched Kishir's shoulder, something dropped with a soft clatter. Turning his gaze, he found it was an old hand mirror and a seashell. Those precious things. Before he could open his mouth, the man, whose hands were now free, pulled Yudhir into an embrace tighter than ever before. Feeling the slight pleasure on the nape of his neck and the tickle of hair against his skin, all other thoughts seemed to vanish from his mind. Yidhir exhaled deeply and leaned his own head against Kishore. Despite being just a hug, it felt as if all the tension and fatigue that had built up throughout the day washed away. It's not because the medicine Anon gave me is finally kicking in. Rather, it was because, deep down, he had been yearning for this moment while they talked. Yidhir caressed Kishore's cheek, lifted his head, and their lips met. After a lingering kiss, what he smelled was his own scent, undeniably intense. It felt so apparent even to himself that he realized his heat period wasn't far off. I wish it could come before we leave the capital, but who knows? Just then, as Kishore welcomed Yidhir's scent and further intertwined their tongues, he collapsed entirely onto the sofa, interrupting his thoughts. Though it was the case yesterday as well, every time Kishore sensed the scent that increasingly slipped from Yidhir's control, he seemed reluctant to let him go. When he himself smelled it, it was merely a mild scent, but to an alpha, it may have felt differently. Yidhir felt the scent of Kishore, who had also been quite forthright with his own scent. The sharp, flaming desire he sensed was so vivid. Amidst the unhesitant touches, nothing else seemed to matter. Days passed in a flurry of tasks, and finally, the day arrived when they would set out to directly participate in the second round of recruiting members for the cavalry. The party consisted only of Kishore, Yidhir, and Nathan Sakarman. Though their departure appeared humble, with only 3 horses instead of a carriage, to those who knew of their individual strengths and abilities, the scene didn't seem modest at all. Yidhir, take care on your journey. If any issues arise, call for me at any time. I will come running. Choosing to leave at dawn to avoid attracting attention, those who came to see them off were limited to the 3 deputy commanders and Alec Pelgin, the disciple of Thias Yulman. Amid the early morning gloom, Alec, shivering in the cold, sniveled as he handed something to Yidhir. Take this. It's medicine improved by both my master and the pharmacist of the cavalry, as well as a prototype of an awakener control device that I have tried making. You seem like you have a cold. Wouldn't it have been better for you to stay with your master? At Kishore's teasing question, Alec gave a bitter smile. My master loves his morning sleep, you see, and he stayed up all night making medicine because of me. So, what can be done about his fatigue? His shoulders, disciplined like those of a well-trained slave, seemed a bit lonely. Yidhir opened the cloth bag that Alec had given him and sneakily inspected the medicine and device control. I saw the first prototype once. It was better than I expected. The heat period stabilizer for awakeners who had manifested second genders was a white tablet. It was developed by augmenting the medicine that Thias Yulman had already created. The first prototype had been tested on an alpha awakener who was experiencing a heat period and had consented. Remarkably, the overpowering scent and abnormal arousal almost disappeared within a day of taking the medication. The heat period itself took several more days to completely end, but the dramatic improvement of symptoms alone was an incredible feat. So, Thias Yulman had recently embarked on research for mass production of the second gender prototype, and Yidhir had asked for some samples in advance. You never know what might happen. While the master was busy making medicine, Alec focused on researching the control device. His first prototype was a modified version of the necklace-type control device traditionally used by mages. At first glance, it looked like an ordinary accessory, a far more moderate and beautiful design compared to control devices from his past life, which resembled spiked shackles or dog collars. The first prototype, built on the principles of control devices for mages, halved Alec's power. Of course, it had no effect on Yidhir, but Yidhir thought it would be useful enough to ask a few more before they left. The intended users would not be him, but others they might encounter in the future. Oh my gosh, spiked shackles and dog collars? Seriously, they were totally trying to look down on these awakeners. I mean, yeah, they probably initially said it was for prisoners, but who knows if they have wrongfully accused. We have you there as the live proof. These people. I did put in 3 more control devices since you asked. Next time, when I make the second prototype, I will make sure it's more refined, Alex said, his eyes still filled with disappointment that the control devices had no effect on either. I promise to make something that will work on either as well. It looks like we can depart now, Nathan Zuckerman, who had just finished inspecting the horses, reported to cashier. All the luggage was already well secured on the horses. Either mounted his horse and glanced at Kana, Ever, and Stiver. They each waved their faces full of resolve. They didn't leave the front of the cavalry headquarters until the 3 horses had disappeared from sight. Our first destination is Harton, right? Yes. The eastern region, where a second batch of cavalry recruitment was held and where a branch was simultaneously being established, was a place Uther had already visited. The small village, which was the hometown of Devran and where Uther first encountered Nahan, was conveniently located despite its underdevelopment. It wasn't far from Odequa, the central city and stronghold of the Diarca family. There were also many fairly developed cities nearby. The reason the area hadn't developed despite its favorable location was the rugged mountains and bandits. However, since the last incident, the bandits had disappeared, creating an opportunity for development. They heard that Zekles Harton, who went from being a professional lord to a new lord, was taking advantage of the opportunity and putting a lot of effort into road construction. It was a region where the lord was highly favorable toward the cavalry and was well located. It was plenty of space for buildings and significant potential for development. It couldn't have been better. The establishment of the eastern branch was progressing faster than in any other region, except for the west, primarily because the Zekles faction had readily agreed when asked in advance about the branch's formation. How do you feel about going back? I'm a bit curious to see how much it has changed. The group moved smoothly with no one struggling, making their journey remarkably fast. They arrived in Harton earlier than expected, and what greeted them was a throng of people far more bustling than before. This is a place for recruiting cavalry members, right? Look over there, they have already started building the branch building. The once serene village, abundant with fields, now had a substantial inn and a fair number of respectable shops. The guards who were maintaining the roads throughout the town no longer had the same unfriendliness and laziness. Their faces were taut with discipline. Either stopped one of the guards and requested to be guided to where the lord was. The guard didn't recognize the 3 individuals dressed in dark robes, but he instantly recognized the button Uther extended, which was engraved with the cavalry emblem. Welcome. Like a bolt of lightning, Zekles Harton rushed out from the castle where the lord resided, greeting them with a composed face. It's an honor to see you again. The first dispatched members from the cavalry are also staying in the castle, so you will be able to see them if you come with me. Please follow me.